the Missoula Consolidated Planning Board to order, and we'll begin with the roll call.
Helen Jenkins. Helen Jenkins is absent. Andy Medford.
Here.
Andy Medford is here. Neva Hassanen.
Here.
Neva Hassanen is here. Michael Houlihan.
Here.
Michael Houlihan is here. Dudley Imprada. Dudley Imprada is absent. Jason Rice.
Here.
Jason Rice is here. Stephanie Potts.
Here.
Stephanie Potts is here. Vince Caristo.
Here.
Vince Caristo is here. Jamie Hoffman.
Here.
Jamie Hoffman is here. John Newman.
Here.
John Newman is here. And with 6 members and 2 alternates present, we do have a quorum. And since a member from the city is absent, would you like to appoint Vince as a voting member tonight?
That sounds great.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, slight correction. We actually have 1 alternate position is vacant.
Gotcha.
Right, so we have 6 members and 1 alternate present.
Okay, perfect. All right, we'll move on to approval of, you know what, actually, maybe before we get to item 3, I don't know where this appropriately fits in, but Stephanie, welcome to the board. And if you want to say anything about yourself or introduce yourself, feel free to. Yeah, yep, that'd be great.
Hi, everybody. I'm really looking forward to serving on the planning board. I currently am the youth programs coordinator at the Montana Natural History Center, so I work with getting kids outdoors in their communities mostly now. And my background is in environmental studies in a wide range of different disciplines, and I've also worked in food and ag development and business development for the Grow Montana Food Policy Coalition in the past here. I did a lot of work in grad school on land use policy, and so I'm really excited to get more involved with it now on the planning board. So yeah, and I live over sort of south of the Good Food Store near Franklin School, and I have a bunch of chickens and a nice cat, and I love living in Missoula, so I'm happy to contribute.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the board and glad to have you. Okay, we'll move on to item number 3, approval of the minutes from the December 19th, 2017 meeting. Any corrections to those? I didn't see anything.
I move that we approve the minutes from December 19, 2017.
Motion from Neva. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Michael. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
I'll abstain.
Okay.
I was
We have
gone.
1 abstention. 2 abstentions from Jason and Jamie. Okay, move on to item number 4, public comment. Nothing there. No staff comments, I don't think. Christine? No public hearings, no communications and special presentations. I don't believe we have any committee reports. I don't have a committee report. And our TPCC rep is no longer with us, sadly. Old business. I did not have time to complete the revisions to that resolution, but I kind of figured since Helen wasn't going to be here anyway, and I assume she'll probably want to make kind of some final comments and be here to vote on it, that might not be that big a deal. So I will be sure to get that done for the next meeting, and we'll be good to go there. So the main event, new business and referrals, election of officers first, and then appointment of a member to serve on the TPCC, as well as a member to serve on the Urban Growth Commission. We'll start with election of officers here. So, I mean, traditionally the president served for 1 year, and then at some point along the line, John DeBari, I don't really remember how it happened, but John ended up serving for 2 years, and Don MacArthur may have served for 2 after that, and then Dick served for 2. I am interested and willing to serve for another year. I also don't mean to say that if someone else isn't interested, absolutely feel free to jump in. But in the event that no one would like to, I'm certainly willing and interested and able to do it. So I'll say that much.
Do we know what Helen thinks about being vice chair?
It's my understanding that she's interested in doing that, correct, Christine? Okay, and so what we'll do, since she's not here, is we will sort of continue this item until the February 6th meeting, I think the date is. Whenever the first meeting in February is. I want to say it's the 6th, but I could be wrong about that. Maybe we can continue the election of the vice president until that meeting, and then take action on the election of the president and the appointment of committee members. So if there's anybody else interested in the presidency, Do we have to vote on that? Probably, right?
I nominate John Newman for the continued presidency of the planning board or chairman or whatever your title is.
I second that
Okay.
nomination.
Motion from Jason, seconded from Jamie. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Discussion on the motion?
Yeah.
Your last
I would
chance.
like to say that I really appreciate the knowledge and leadership that you've brought to the planning board this past year, and I'm happy to support your continued work in that position. So thank you
Well,
so
thank you.
much, John.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. We'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I guess I'll abstain probably. If ever there was a time to abstain, that's the time. Okay. So I'll serve another year and we'll see how things go. We'll wait till next meeting with Helen and we'll move on here to appointing a member to the TPCC. Does anybody have any particular interest in serving on that committee? It's a daytime committee, to my knowledge. It meets during the day, which can be restrictive.
Would you remind us what it is?
The Transportation Policy Committee.
Coordinating
What's that?
The policy coordinating committee.
Policy Coordinating Committee. So they coordinate. I don't know. Do they make policy and coordinate it?
I have
That's
no
a good
idea.
question. If you have more insight, that'd be great.
So I work in compromise, I wouldn't be able to serve on the board, but we work with them. So the TPCC, they are the governing body for the MPO, for the Metropolitan Planning Organization. It's essentially federally mandated with the board for this, so they have representatives from the county and the city. Don McCarthy of the board representing Mountain Line. There's a ex officio member from the Federal Highway Administration. Essentially what they do is their main function is to manage the disbursement of federal funding to all eligible entities. So they also do approve policy, things like the long-range transportation plan. But the bulk of their business is like approving funding for specific transportation projects. But yeah, it's an interesting, I mean, I find it interesting, it's my field, but yeah, I want to stay on the pulse of what's happening with like local transportation projects. And, do I remember voting? I was voting for that.
That I do not know the answer to.
Yeah, so they play a big role in transportation policy.
Do you know when they meet, Vince?
I believe they meet on Thursdays or Tuesdays at 2:00.
And-
Once a month.
Okay, that
So
was
it,
gonna be my
yeah,
next question.
it's 1:30 on the third Tuesday of every month. Yeah.
Mr. Hoffman?
Vince, why do you think you're unavailable to serve? Because as you're an employee of Mountain Line.
Maybe I have this wrong, but so our agency, Mountain Line, we receive federal funding, so we're one of the recipients. We do have a representative on the board, mandated by the bylaw of TPCC, we have one of our board of directors, but I don't know, I think it seems inappropriate, maybe I was wrong, but
I think your instincts are probably correct to serve on a board that would disperse funds to your organization.
right.
Yeah.
I might have to recuse myself from almost every.
Do you ever serve as staff to TPCC? Do you bring projects to the TPCC or not?
We don't, the MDO staff does it
Okay.
for us, but we could conceivably.
Okay. I'll tell you the one takeaway that I've gotten from people reporting about TPCC meetings over the years, and you nailed it, having your finger on the pulse. I mean, people will come and sort of report on the TPCC meeting, and it's like, there's this project going on, nobody really knows about it yet. It's sort of in the like planning stages or its early stages, and it's it's kind of exciting. It's akin to, in my mind, like the MRA version of for transportation. I feel like the MRA board always kind of knows what's coming next. So, I mean, in an attempt to sell it here, and I'd be willing to serve on that too if there's nobody else interested, of course. So,
I believe that Dudley in his email did kind of mention that he was open to it. So I don't.
that's true. He
know
did
if
say
it's-
TPCC, and I think he said either one.
Right.
Okay, so maybe we give him the short straw. Whoever, if somebody wants the Urban Growth Commission, then. Should we talk about that and then see if maybe we can put Dudley in that role if he's willing? Is anybody interested in serving on the Urban Growth Commission?
I might.
Okay. I'll tell you, it's kind of so far, it seems like it's a pretty easy gig in terms of the number of meetings. I mean, they're supposed to have 3 a year, I think, and I'm not sure that they've ever met at this point yet. So that's your kind of.
Well, would you explain what that purpose is?
Well, they do have a meeting scheduled for Thursday, March 15th, and those meet at 3 o'clock in the City Council chambers where you are. And it was created through the interlocal when the city-county planning office split. And so they generally discuss planning issues that affect both jurisdictions. And let's see, they meet semi-annually, 2 to 4 times a year in theory. Yeah, talk about planning.
Okay. Well, then I would move your appointment as a planning board committee member for the Urban Growth Commission. Do you have a second to that motion? Seconded by Vince. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's probably a vote, isn't it?
What's that?
The vote as such.
Yeah, I made the motion, Vince seconded, so if there's any discussion on the motion, your last chance to back out. Okay. Thanks, Jamie. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? None? Okay, maybe we can go back and put Dudley in that role if nobody else is interested, if he's willing.
I'm not able to meet on certainly Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I guess I'll move appointment of Dudley and Prada to be the planning board committee member for the Transportation Policy Coordinating Committee.
Second.
Seconded by Jason. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, none. So we're good to go. We will continue item 10A until the next meeting. Comments from planning board members? Eva.
I just wanted to call everyone's attention to a series of articles that have been published in local papers, but also have been combined in the High Country News, and it's called the Montana Gap. And this is a collaboration among a variety of journalists from the different papers and such in town, and not just here, but out Sealy and beyond. And I will send the link out to the group, but it discusses a number of different planning-related topics, such as zoning in East Missoula. And apparently Dick Ainsworth is the chair of the East Missoula Community Council, which I did not know, but he advocates in one of those pieces for zoning. And anyway, there's a number of articles that are relevant to our work that I think would be worth folks taking a look at, so I'll send that around.
Great, thank you. I've seen a series of articles recently. Yeah, like kind of talking about like out-migration and how to, is that the same sort of project?
The focus is on rural areas. And yes, a bunch of it's been published in Missoulian, a feature in The Independent this past week, which looks at agricultural land protection policies in Vermont and what Missoula might learn from those. It was also one of those. And so then those are also published in High Country News. So it's a collaboration among journalists and news outlets.
Cool. Well, thanks for
My point.
Gotcha. Well, thanks. They're certainly interesting articles. I will make one other comment. Christine had given me a list of sort of membership update, and I feel like I probably ought to talk about that on the record. But so as far as county membership, Jason and Michael were reappointed. Andy, as was mentioned before, as a county alternate, is now a full member. Stephanie Potts, our new member. And on the city side, Neva was reappointed by the mayor. Helen, Dudley, and Vince will be voted upon by the city council on January 22nd, their reappointment. And then, we're going to continue the meeting as far as Helen goes. But so we're retaining a bunch of members, and that's great. There's, I think, great value in the institutional knowledge about how some of this stuff works. So I'm glad to see people coming back. So any other comments? Okay. with that, we will adjourn this meeting. Thanks, everybody. 7:16, that's not bad.
You're all like this.